Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So today I'm going to be doing a review of 1815 Scum of the Earth. So Scum of the Earth is the third game in Tristan Hall's battle series. The last one was 1565, St. Elmo's Pay, and the first one was 1066, Tears to Many Mothers. Now the reason I'm showing this is because you can combine these games together with that. So you can take a faction from one of these games and have them go against a faction from 1815, Scum of the Earth. So like I stated before, this is the third game in that series. They all play the same. So I'm going to show you briefly now like how it's played. I'm not going to do how to play. I don't know if you saw in my last video. I kind of want to make the videos move a little bit faster. So, but if you want me to bring it back, feel free to leave it in the comment section. So, what's going on in this game? Now, this game takes place during the Battle of Waterloo. If you guys don't know what that is when Napoleon went off against the British, and of course he lost and it was exiled, and which ultimately led to his death. So, in this game, you're going to have these three cards set out in the middle, in between the two players. Now, in order to win the game, you can either destroy two of the three, you can either kill their leader. For the French, obviously, you have Napoleon, or you have Michel Ney. And, of course, the British have Sir Arthur Wellesley or Prince Gebhard on the other side. This is actually, this is not, I forgot what he's won, but you could choose between the two. Now, again, if any of these guys dies, then that player loses. Or one of the players runs out of cards. That is the only way that you can win this game. So, the way you start off by setting these three cards in the middle of the table. Now, each player is going to have a 3x3 grid. So, there are playmats available for this game, available from Tristan Hall's website. I also want to thank Tristan Hall for sending me this review copy. Let me state that first and foremost. Thanks again for sending it. Hope you enjoyed the review. So, now the way to destroy two of the three of these is each faction is going to have these objective cards labeled A through G. And so the last one is going to, so like for example, the last one here on the French is the Battle of Waterloo. After you complete, once you get to the Battle of Waterloo, then you are able to start attacking these three areas here. So how do you get there? So for example, A is just for flavor text. This is automatically destroyed, so you will automatically move over to B. So the way this game starts is you're going to shuffle your deck, and there's also variant rules which I'll go over at the end of the game, at the end of the review, because they actually make the game a little bit more faster and a little bit better. But I'm just showing you the basics right now. So you're going to shuffle your deck here. Now in your deck, you're going to have other types of units, event cards, and character cards. So you're going to shuffle this, and you're going to draw 6 cards. Now each player has 1 mulligan, so if you don't like what you drew, you can reshuffle them back in and draw again. Now on your turn, like I said before, you always have 6 cards in hand. On your turn, you can either play a card, you can execute an action on a card, you can sacrifice a card that's in the play area, or you can pass, which will, once both players pass, it ends the round. So on your card here, you're going to have on the top right here, I'm going to show a little bit how much it costs. You're going to have a cross, which represents zeal, a cannon, which represents might, and then a blood symbol, which represents the health of the card. So for example, this is a French artillery card. Says that when it's played, you gain 3 cannon tokens. Again, they have these little token bags that come with the game, and you place the cannon tokens on here. And one of the actions it does is remove 1 cannon token to deal 1 damage to every enemy in this card's frontier. So what is a frontier? Now, like I said before, these 3 cards are going to be labeled out in the middle between. You're on a 3x3 grid, so a frontier is any card that's below one of these 3 frontiers. So that card can do damage to any enemy that's in the same frontier as it. So that's one way of injuring somebody's leader or destroying other cards that are in that area, in that frontier there. Now, how do you play it? So, like I said before, there's a cost up here. So, like, for example, This is the Grand Battery. This is an event card. So again, event cards, they trigger actions. You play, let's set off to the side. So for example, this is a character card. He has 4 costs. That means you would have to discard 4 cards to pay for him. But instead of discarding 4 cards, for example, this card here has a green ribbon right next to it. This has 1, which means it generates 1 resource for you. So instead of discarding a card, you could turn it to its side and use its resource. But now that card can't be used for the rest of the game. So you're going to keep going back and forth until both players pass. Now, when they both pass, you're going to do your zeal or might damage. So, for example, this is the kill your emperor objective for the French. Also the English. I'm not going to go over what the English does. I'm just using the French objectives here, but they all have the same amount, all pretty much the same. Well, some might be easier than the others. So this has 7 health, but 2 zeal. So what this means is the cards that are laid out in your area they have to total more than 2 zeal. So for example, if they total 6 zeal, you're doing 5 damage to this card. So that means by the next round, you're probably gonna have destroy this card and move over to the next objective. Now when you complete this objective, they usually have to follow what it says. Like this one says, when destroyed, you must draw 1 card. And then there's also shows for a solo. So there's also a solo version of this game, which I'm not going over. But yeah, so you're going to keep going these until you reach the letter G, which is the Battle of Waterloo. And then you're going to combine your might and your zeal together. Again, some objectives want you to use zeal, some want you to use might. Now, this is going to keep going back and forth until either both people get to the Battle of Waterloo and take 2 of the 3 frontiers. One of the leaders dies, or you run out of cards. So that's basic of how you play the game. Now there's a variant rule, which is a deck variant and drafting variant. So I've been told by Tristan Hall that the drafting variant is the best way to play. It makes the game, it gets rid of some of the randomness, and of course it makes the game go a little bit quicker. You can always check it out on BGG, or if you're interested in getting the game. I'm not going to go over everything, so I'm just going to go over what I think of the game. First and foremost, I suggest you play with the drafting variant after a few plays of just the basic game. But so overall, we're going to go over my likes and dislikes. We're going to go over the dislikes first. But I forgot to mention also, they have these damage counters that you can put on your cards to show damage to the cards, and also to compare how much zeal and might you have against the frontiers and all. Okay, but back to my final thoughts. So the dislike, the same problem I felt with 1066 and 1565 is I feel the game could be a little bit slow. I mean, you can play this game about 30-45 minutes. It can go fast. 1066 went by really slow for me. I feel like the games they progressed as they went. This one is by far, I think this is by far the best in the series, 1815. But I did feel like things moved a little bit slow. You know, the way you play the cards out, comparing the zeal, going through the objectives. It just felt, I felt like I wish that would move a little bit faster. Again, the game is still not. The good thing is that it only plays about 30 to 45 minutes. So, again, it's not that big of a deal. My likes, first and foremost, is the art on these cards are amazing. So it's, again, all these games, Tristan Hall has probably got one of the best designs in all of his games. They're just fantastic. Very well done, very colorful, historic. And speaking of historic, if you are a history buff, I highly recommend all 3 of these games. It is just they're just loaded with theme. Every card has a flavor text on it and stuff. This is a great game for a school setting. So any history teachers out there, if you want to get these games for students to play, I guess during lunch or recess, these are excellent games. I know 1565 could be a little bit grim. There's like some cards that show like headless headless cannonballs and stuff. But again, it's with the theme and with it's all historical, and if that's just the historical setting. That's just what happened in the Siege of Malta. But again, going back to this game, now the gameplay itself, I have a lot of fun playing it. It's very, very strategic because every turn felt very important. You want to lay out your cards because you want to try to attack your opponent's leader, but sometimes they have some stronger card out there that's also messing you over. But so it's like, do I want to go after the card that's attacking me, or do I want to go after his card that is making him move through his objectives faster? So there's that, really deep strategy there. But again, like, I do like how that, it keeps you. I don't want to say it's tense, but I feel like it moves fast with playing the cards and passing it. But the thing I like is that the attacking is just very clean. All right, spend that action, attack this card. And that's it. There's no dice rolling or anything. But when you get to that Battle of Waterloo and you're both comparing trying to attack the frontiers here. Now, by the way, if only one person is at the Battle of Waterloo, they're not fighting over might. Both people have to be at the Battle of Waterloo to compare might when taking over the frontiers. When it's just when it's one player there by themselves, they are using their zeal to attack the frontier, so it's a little bit slow. But when both players are at the Battle of Waterloo and they're attacking all three of these frontier cards, it gets very, very tense. I mean, it can take a while to get there, but once you're there, it's just the game is just a lot of fun. Again, I do like the back and forth. It's slower than most two-player games. At the end of the day, I'm going to give this game an 8 out of 10. It is a great two-player game. Not for everybody. If you are a history buff, I think you're going to love this game. If you're not, you might like it. Maybe, maybe not. But I can see some people being turned off by how slow it can be. But for me, I do enjoy it. I enjoy this game a lot. Even though it is slow yet, but you're still trying to think of that strategy on how you want to go about. Do I want to go after, do the objectives quick, or do I want to destroy his leader quick? Both factions did seem well balanced. At first, I thought, I believe the British go through it. I felt the British went through the objectives pretty quick, and the French took their time. But at the end of the day, when I played both factions, and all games that I've played always came down to the wire. So there hasn't been one game where one faction blew the other one out of the water. Both games came down to the wire, and they were all tense. So you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, again, I do recommend it. It is an 8 out of 10. Great classroom. Great game for a classroom setting if you're a history teacher. But yeah, definitely play this game. Thanks for watching it. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Also, if you want me to go back to how to play sections of these videos, hey, leave them in the comments. Maybe I'll bring them back one day. But again, I'm just trying to get through these videos as quick and concise as possible. But thanks again for watching, guys. Until next time, have a great one.